Okay, let's try this again. And I'm really, really hopeful that just maybe it was just the pre-scheduling that made it not work. I'm hoping, I am very, very hopeful about this, that it fixed it. But let me double check things. And this is the reason. This is the reason why we double check our settings. Um, so checking the book of face, checking the tube of view once again, and hopefully this time it's working. And if it does work this time, then I will go ahead and I will delete out the pre-scheduled attempt and keep this one. So yeah, it looks like it's working now. It's so weird, guys. Sorry about that. Um, so yeah, there's going to be no views on that one, the original Unboxing the Darkwood Tarot, because it lasted for about 6 minutes and 54 seconds. And for some reason, you could not see me or hear me. So if you can indeed see me and hear me, please let me know in the chat and let me know where you're tuning in from so that I know that this is working this time around. And by the way, I don't think Mercury is in retrograde. I don't think any planets are retrograde right now. So very, very strange. Literally 6 minutes of nothing. So I don't know if that means that I can no longer pre-schedule things. I have no idea, but it didn't work. Yep. Okay, so Stephanie's here. Hello, Stephanie. Yep, from tuning in from the Book of Face. Fantastic. Thank you, Stephanie, for commenting and letting me know. And welcome. So, and let me finish. Let me switch back over my branding here because I had the cute little background going on, which was this, and I didn't know if that was a problem or something else was a problem or the intro was a problem. I have no freaking idea. I don't know what it was, and I have a feeling actually that it might have been my attempts earlier today trying to hook in the gram of Insta to be one of the simulcasting platforms. And I had trouble with that earlier today too. So thank you all very much for your patience. And please be watching this video and not the other video. Um, and yeah, very strange, very, very strange. And now, unfortunately, the link that I pointed everyone to on my newsletter is now the wrong link. So hopefully you guys can figure out if it says live on my tube of view to go to the one that is indeed live. Here's hoping. Anyway. Okay, good, good, good. Everything looks copacetic, thankfully. Phew, thank goodness. But hello, and welcome. And I will be right back in a couple of like 20 seconds, and we'll do the intro video, and I will introduce you to what we're doing tonight, because none of you saw me in that 6-minute video from before. So you try and start on time. You try and do a broadcast happening at exactly 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then you end up starting around the time that you usually do it anyway. Of course, why not, right? And Jenny is here. Jenny is here. Hi from YouTube. Hi from the tube of you. All right, it's working now. Thank goodness. All right, I will be right back. All right. So, welcome, welcome, welcome once again to an episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because, yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. So, thank you very much if you are tuning in for the second time tonight, or for some of you, the third time tonight or today, because I was doing some experimentation earlier on in the day, trying to see if I could also live stream to the gram of Insta, and with middling results, I would say, because I didn't read the tutorial. All the way through, and that was my mistake. And so, yeah, I decided to start the live stream without hitting the start live stream button in on the gram of Insta, and it just made a whole mess. And I don't know, and it didn't save either. So, any attempts to do that might have saved to the Book of Face and to the two of you, but not to the gram of Insta. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll necessarily be doing that again, or I'll be trying to use it in a different way, let's just say. So, welcome to the broadcast. If you are not familiar with this broadcast or this live stream, welcome. I've been doing this for over 4 years now. Some of you have been there from the very beginning. Some of you might be finding me for the first time tonight. However long you've been watching, if it's your first time here or your 70th time here, welcome. So, tonight's episode, we are going to be unboxing the Darkwood Tarot deck, and it is a mini deck. So, this is one of the decks that I got in a reviewer box from Llewellyn Publishing. So, thank you very much to Llewellyn for sending this to me. And basically, the past couple of months, it's been unboxing videos and then working with that deck over the month, which is how by pulling card of the day pulls from that deck. And that's how I get to know a tarot deck or an oracle deck. And I usually will work with it for about a month before I feel ready or confident to put it into the rotation for paying clients to work with, to use it as a tool with my clients. Because if you're paying for a reading with me, I want to make sure that I know my tools correctly and really work with it in order to be able to then get paid for those readings that I provide. I'm not going to go and pick up a tarot deck sight unseen or an oracle deck sight unseen and then go and give a paid reading session to a person. That's just not who I am. And the one time I have done it was literally by request by a client. And I used the Thoth or the Thoth tarot deck, which is normally not my jam. I usually am a Rider-Waite-Smith kind of gal. But I do have some experience with the Thoth deck. It's just not usually my cup of tea. And so a couple of times I have read for a client who is one of my regular clients now. But the first time I read for her, she asked me specifically to read from the Thoth deck, and not just any Thoth deck. It was a Thoth deck that was given to her by a very dear friend of hers that had since passed away. So it was an incredibly sentimental deck to her. And I'm just like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want this reading from this deck? And are you sure it's okay with you that I'm handling this deck and shuffling with this deck? And she was just like, yes, I'm giving you permission. Like, please do. This is how I'm feeling guided right now. And so I did the reading. So, things happen and there's always an exception to any rule. But for the most part, I will work with the deck for at least a month's time before I put it into the general rotation to use with clients. So that's the deck of the month, and the concept of the deck of the month is kind of where that's come from, where I will pull a card of the day each day and post it on social media, my different social media platforms. And that way you can kind of see me getting to know the deck. I will usually provide keywords from that guidebook or that little white book, and then go with my own interpretation. And so um, when I'm doing card of the day polls and putting it out on social media, I'm doing it with the intention, the dual intention of getting to know the tarot deck, providing a service to people and a taste of what I do in a free space, in a free capacity, and then going from there. And sometimes, much like a horoscope, not every card of the day reading that I put out there is going to be for you. But if it comes up in your feed and it resonates for you, then that message is most likely for you. So, anyway, in November, did I start doing these in November? No. So in November, I did kind of a hodgepodge of oracle decks. And so I was just pulling from different card of the days from oracle decks that I was guided to work with each and every day. In December, I used oh gosh, can't remember. Oh, the Yuletide Tarot. Of course. Of course. The Yuletide Tarot, which was part of the reviewer box that I got from Llewellyn. And that was very interesting, very fun deck. And then for January, I've been using the Witch Sister Tarot deck, which is also from that reviewer box that I got from Llewellyn. So it's been a very Llewellyn couple of months. So thank you again to Llewellyn. So in that spirit, this is also from that reviewer box. And so I have decided we're using the Darkwood Tarot for card of the day polls for February. And so we usually do an unboxing video at the start of each month to introduce the deck, to get my first impressions of the deck before I start using it for card of the day polls. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and click the hearts, click the like button. If you also were here seeing the intro video, please like, subscribe, click the bell, get notified. And if you are feeling so inclined, please share this video with your friends. I would really appreciate it. All right. So that is the main thing that we're doing in tonight's episode, is unboxing the Darkwood Tarot mini deck. And we also have our main staples of the live stream that I do every week. We do a little bit of astrology, or the astro-weather, from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest, which you can purchase for yourself on her website, thetarotlady.com, and go to Astro Biz Digest. I will share the link in a couple of moments when we do that. And I usually provide that for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that you can enter into the weekend prepared and not scared. Same thing with the weekend forecast, but we'll get there in a second. But I don't want to give away the farm. Like, if you're liking what you're hearing, like, please consider getting a subscription for yourself. It's $99 for the year to get astrology in layman's terms straight to your inbox. Highly, highly recommend. Then we will do the mid-episode reading about halfway through the unboxing, in which one lucky person will be able to be considered for a 3-card reading from me live on the broadcast. So please stay tuned for that. And let me make sure that I put that up in the crawler. And then at the end of the episode, we will do the weekend forecast, which is when I pull a tarot card or an oracle card to bring you into the weekend prepared and not scared. So that is the general tenets of the weekly live stream. And let's get started with the Astro Biz Digest, the Astro Weather from Teresa Reed. Okay. And as promised, I'm going to go ahead and show that option. I'm going to go ahead and push that live so that you can see that. And the link will drop into the chat, probably on the Tube of You, most likely not on the Book of Face, because for some reason I keep on getting this error message from the Book of Face saying that I'm like violating the terms of service for some reason, and I'm not. So I don't know what that's about. But the link is right here. thetarolady.com/astrobizdigest. Okay. All right. Okay. Good. So let me pull up that information. Actually, I should probably just look at it on my phone. Um, Mostly because when I attempted to do the live streaming before and test it out for the gram of Insta, um, I ended up having a lot of tabs open at the same time. And I think it really slowed things down and messed things up. So I'm trying not to open as many tabs on my computer while I'm live streaming to kind of like minimize any kind of buffering or slowness or choppiness to the stream. So let me go ahead and pull up the AstroBiz Digest on my phone for you guys. All right.
You see that table I have in there? Yeah. I used to have two of those, but when Brian moved out, he took one without me knowing. So I had
there.
That table was where Jay's table was, and I was like, "Where's the Hey, I heard my name." Yeah. Perfect. All right, you brought it?
Monthly summary.
Really?
And if it gets loud in here, I have no control over it. It is in the background. Okay. Let's see. Open detailed view. There we go. That is absolutely not what I wanted to do at all. All right. Just scrolling on down here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. All right. So the cosmos is quiet this week, but that doesn't mean that it's dull. Even though planets are not changing signs, hold on, let me pull this. Even though planets are not changing signs, there is still plenty of aspects happening and opportunities to keep your business humming along. Now, keep in mind that the AstroBiz Digest is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I have found it to be very helpful in planning my personal life. So keep that in mind. So the past few weeks have been intense. So this is Teresa speaking here. I am prepping for a pivot in a few months, something I've anticipated due to professional opportunities and Pluto's entry into my fourth house. The fourth house is the domestic sector of the chart. And while it can speak of home and family, it's also the root of your business. Pluto wants a transformation, and I'm more than ready. So why does she mention this? I've used astrology for my business for many moons. It's never failed me. One of the reasons I've been at this game for over 30 years is that I pay attention to the energy around me and follow suit. I'm moving with the rushing waters rather than fighting like a salmon swimming upstream. So onward until mid-year when Jupiter skips into Gemini, my sun sign. Once that happens, expansion into new territories is on the way. So, are we ready for Friday? Oh, and Katie is here. Hello, Katie. And I do see in the chat that someone is asking how they can book with me, and you can go ahead and book a private session with me for tarot or tapping by going to my website, www.tarotbyhilary.com. You can book a tarot session. You can book an EFT tapping session. Okay. Okay. And Katie is here. Hello to Katie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Friday, February 2nd, Mercury is sextile Neptune all weekend, beginning today at 5:55 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, by the way. This is dynamic. This is dynamite for creative thinking, revelations, short drips, brainstorming, and intuition. It's also nifty if you're trying to convey a mystical message to the public. Everyone is all ears for that. However, watch out for the Moon-Jupiter opposition at 6:17 a.m., so that's already passed. It's too easy to overpromise or reveal too much. The public could also be testy. Freebie seekers and clout chasers might be looking for their chance. Ugh. At 5:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon sextiles Venus, a lovely lunation that inspires people to buy. Put your best foot forward and market hard. You could see a fab turn on your investment. But be quick because no one is listening once the moon squares the sun at 6:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The news cycle is full of drama then, so eyes are elsewhere. So today, Friday, is a power day for Scorpio and a weak day for Taurus. And that is also part of the reason why I sent out my newsletter tonight at 5:15 to take advantage of the moon sextile Venus. So that's kind of an example of the astro-weather in action. Now, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is decent for marketing and money making. There are two excellent spots for PR. The Moon-Mars sextile at 11:42 a.m. and the Moon-Neptune trine at 5:42 p.m. Both of these times bode well for captivating the public's attention. The key is to be bold and imaginative. Pipe down when the moon sextiles Mercury and stations void at 10:24 p.m. This aspect signals the best time for secret meetings with your team over drinks rather than interacting with the public. Sunday's Sagittarius moon casts a happy glow over the day. It's terrific energy for travel, PR, learning, and teaching. If you have any of those activities on the docket today, expect marvelous results. I advise caution, though, when the moon squares Saturn at 2:10 p.m. At that time, the public is in a foul mood, and you might be in one too. Take a break, or maybe hang it up for the rest of the day if you are able to. So Saturday is a power day for Scorpio and a weak day for Taurus, and Sunday is a power day for Sagittarius and a weak day for Gemini. I also want to give you a little bit of an exclusive here too, because speaking of the newsletter that went out earlier today, unfortunately, I don't know what was going on with the newsletter, but I could not add in the card of the month forecast. So I might as well give that one to you today. So let me pull that up. Hold on one second. And hopefully you don't hear any of this because my headphones are in. But let me load it. Okay. So hopefully that didn't wreck any of the live stream, but I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste. So the card of the month forecast for this month is the 10 of Pentacles. That's the card that I pulled. February is a time where there may be a lot of social events and networking going on. The sense of completion and new beginnings that is usually felt in January feels more at home here within this month with this card coming up. Within each of the pip cards of the tarot is energy that is either receptive or action orientated. And I feel that the pentacles and the cups are receptivity based. So with this card being the card of the month, apply radical receptivity to your sense of abundance, gratitude, and finances. So that's a little bit of a bonus for you guys, considering I wasn't able to put that into the monthly newsletter the way I wanted to, but at least it's existing here somewhere. And I might add that to my website as well. All right. Does anyone have any questions about the astrology over the past week? I know that I usually feature Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but if people are just like, my Monday was a little bit weird, and they wanted to know, was there an astrological reason why? Let me know in the chat. I'll take a look for you, and then we will open up the Darkwood Tarot. I am going to get some lip balm out of my bag because my lips are chapped. Okay, I can find my pen, but not my chapstick. There we go. And if you don't want to take a look at the astrology and you're ready for the Darkwood unboxing, give me a hell yeah in the chat. Stephanie says, let's do it. Okay. Sounds good to me, Stephanie. Sorry, had to catch up on my messages. So Katie says, unboxing, yes, please. And Jenny is asking, please repeat card of the month. Absolutely, I can repeat it. So the card of the month is the 10 of Pentacles. It's a time where there might be a lot of social events and networking going on. The sense of completion and new beginnings that is usually felt in January feels more at home here within this month. Within each of the pip cards, or the minor arcana, ace through 10 cards of the tarot, is energy that is either receptive or action orientated. And I feel like the pentacles and the cups are receptivity based. So with this card being the card of the month, apply radical receptivity to your sense of abundance, gratitude, and finances. Also your career. Okay. And then you can always, by the way, you can always catch the replay of all of these live streams. That's what they're there for. You don't necessarily have to tune in every Friday for the live stream, but it is always more fun to tune in live. But we have the replays available over the past 4 years of doing this live stream. All sorts of different topics. We've done court cards. We've done the minor arcana. We've done the 5s and the 7s of the tarot, which I think was a 2-parter or even a 3-parter. I can't even remember at this point, but and I take your suggestions very seriously as well. Also, if you're wondering about this time of the year from a witchy perspective, I did do a Sabbath series of episodes in which I taught about the different Sabbats in the witch's wheel of the year. And so the most recent one, or the one that just happened, would be in bulk. So you may want to check out the Sabbath series in bulk if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. And Katie says, I recommend live. Live, definitely more fun. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. All right, so let us open up the Darkwood Tarot Mini. So here we go. This is by Sasha Graham with artwork by Abigail Larson. And if you are familiar at all with Melissa Sonova and Card Slingers Coast to Coast, the podcast that I do with Melissa Sonova and Jamie Elford, I don't know if the episode that we recorded has gone live yet, but there was one episode where she was laughing because the mini deck that I was holding up looks like a regular deck in my hands. So now I can't unsee it, basically. Oh, Stephanie says, love how the live caption got that in bulk instead of in bulk. That's the beauty of live captioning, right? But I'll take it. And then I can usually edit the captions afterwards if I really need to. Like, the live captions will misspell my name every single time. It misspells it. It always defaults to Hilary with 2 L's, and that is just not my name. So that's the reason why I usually display it every single time. Like, if you find a tarot by Hilary and they spell it with 2 L's, that's not me. There may be another tarot reader that is named Hilary that has 2 L's in their name, but that's not me. So anyway, Darkwood Tarot Mini. And let me pull up the blurb, which I can pull up from my newsletter. So dare to enter the dark wood and discover your shadow self with this enthralling Rider-Waite-Smith style deck. As you take on the role of a witch entering the wood, you'll find each card becomes a vision of legends, which is the wand suit, fears, which is the sword suit, animals, which is the cup suit, and the natural world, which is pentacles. Which actually, from going from the Witch Sister Tarot to this deck, might not be too much of a stretch for us. These visions offer you deep wisdom, providing a richer and fuller understanding of yourself. Examine your secret desires, your shadowy dreams, and the unknown recesses of your psyche. This deck is the key to your shadow side, the key to a quest through darkness and into the light that reflects your hidden talents and personal power. Here's hoping that it might be a little bit more kinder and gentler than the Witch Sister Tarot deck, but I'm doubtful. And so this is the mini edition, and it's small enough to fit in a pocket or a purse. And I do have small hands, but this is what it looks like in my hands. This helps you gain, these captivating illustrations help you gain a richer understanding of yourself as you journey into the wood. This is the mini edition of the Darkwood Tarot. Cards measure approximately 1.7 by 3 inches. Please note that this deck does not come with an instructional booklet. Oh boy. All right. We're good luck. Good luck to me then. Good luck to all of us then, actually. All right. Let us use my gothy Morticia Adams embroidery scissors and open this baby up. ASMR. That actually came out a lot more cleanly than I thought it was going to. So here's the problem though, because it is in just a regular cardboard box. So I'm going to just wedge the embroidery scissors in here so that I can open this without hurting the packaging. And Jenny is asking, have you done an episode on the Celtic cross spread? That would be interesting. To my knowledge, no. But some of you guys are way more familiar with my episodes than I am. For the live stream, I'm pretty sure we did do an episode in the Card Slingers on the Celtic cross spread, but I'm not sure. Does anyone remember? Let me see if I can search, since I know that the Tube of You is working. Let me check my channel and see. Yeah. Stephanie's saying, I'm pretty sure Card Slingers did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did too. But then again, like we're starting to lose track of our episodes, but then some of you guys are such rabid fans, which we like really, really appreciate. And it's nice to have your ego stroked every once in a while. We are 3 fire sign tarot readers. But you guys know our episodes almost better than we do at this point. So sometimes people will ask, and we'll be like, did we do an episode on this? Because we don't want to repeat ourselves. But also, even if we do repeat topics, we're never going to come at it in exactly the same way, which is kind of fun and interesting. So, search Celtic cross. I did do it on 3-card tarot spreads 4 years ago. But I do mention the Celtic cross in that episode on how to read 3-card tarot spreads, because 3-card tarot spreads are actually my bread and butter. I use them or a variation, 3 to 5 cards. Most of the time, other than the Celtic cross. Like the Celtic cross, I think is a really great spread to do for like a general snapshot reading. But yeah, it looks like I didn't cover it yet. So Jenny says, I still think it would be cool for you to do in a live, more thorough. Yeah, I will note that. Hold on a second. Let me write that down. Requests for future episodes. Celtic cross. Oh, You got it. You got it. And that's as easy. That's how easy it can be to request um, a topic for an upcoming live stream. So, all right. Sealed. Ooh, I like the backs of this. Hold on one second, though. There we go. It's a little bit better. Yeah, Katie says, I thought you did some types of spreads on here and that you mentioned it. That's how I remembered it. Yep, I did. I did mention it. I don't think I did a full episode on it, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a problem. Okay, so here's the backs. And I like that there's symmetry. So first impressions, I haven't even opened the actual cards, but I like that there's the symmetry. So you don't know whether or not there's an upright or a reversal. I am preferential to that, especially since I am a reader that does read with reversals. So that's very helpful to me so that I don't like look automatically on the back of the card and know like, oh, that's a reverse card. I like when it's not immediately revealed or known. And here is the Fool card here. And they are true to their word. There is no guidebook. And just because there's no guidebook does not mean that it's a fraudulent thing. It's not the mini decks, or at least Llewellyn's sensibility is not to include a guidebook with the mini version of the deck. Because I'm sure they probably assume that you have the full-size version of the deck. I don't, guys. So I might have to get a full-size version of this deck in order to be able to understand it a little bit better. But you know, sometimes you can be better off not having the guidebook, because it forces you to trust your intuition and trust whatever messages you're getting in that moment, and not falling back to, oh, what does the guidebook say? Oh, well, that's in direct conflict for what I just got intuitively. So the guidebook must be right and I must be wrong. When you don't have a guidebook, you're kind of forced to really value your own intuition and your own first impressions. So the Darkwood Tarot Mini was published in 2023. And the original Darkwood Tarot deck was produced in 2020. So have that little guide card there, credit card, I guess. not a credit card, but like, here are the credits to the deck or the copyright information. Bookmark. So, and then here's another one here. So if you were to get the Darkwood Tarot, the full-size version is $31.99 US dollars for the full-size version. The mini deck without the guidebook is $13.99. So, and we're going to do this flashcard style. We were not going to be able to get through the entire all 78 cards of the deck. That's not the purpose of these unboxing videos. These are more like my first impressions, being able to show you a little bit of the deck so that you can make an informed decision about whether or not you would like to purchase one. So, but I will say, if this is your first foray with the Darkwood Tarot, you know, first of all, to be completely transparent, like, I didn't have to pay for this. I got a reviewer copy from Llewellyn. Like, I got a reviewer's box from Llewellyn. because I'm a professional reader and because I asked for it basically. And normally, when you do get reviewer copies, you're expected to get these copies in exchange for an honest review, or in exchange for featuring them in some way, or marketing them in some way. And sometimes people will get reviewer copies but not disclose that they got a reviewer copy, which I think is a little bit shady. You always want to be transparent about that, because, like, first of all, what happens if you don't like the deck, but then you give them a glowing review because you got a reviewer's copy, but you didn't say that you got a reviewer's copy? Like, that's not an entirely honest review, right? Not to say that everybody does that, but I like to keep things as clean as possible, and always disclose when I'm doing a review or when I'm doing an unboxing that I did get a reviewer copy. So I want to say that, going backward as well, going retroactively, in case I didn't say it previously, that the Yuletide Tarot was a reviewer copy. What was the one before that? The Yuletide Tarot was a reviewer copy. The Witch Sister Tarot was a reviewer copy. And this one here, the Darkwood Tarot, is a reviewer copy as well. So now that that's said and out of the way, let's go through the major arcana. So we have the Fool. So yeah, if it's your first foray into the Darkwood Tarot, you may want to purchase the full-size version of the Darkwood Tarot so that you get the guidebook or the little white book that comes along with it. If you do go for the mini deck, you will not receive a guidebook, which could be good, because it prompts you to really trust your intuition or your first impressions. But it also can be bad, because sometimes you'll want to know, oh, okay, why is the magician depicted in this way? What was the decision making that went into it? What was the storytelling that went into it? You don't know. You have to kind of assume or make up your own stories. Empress card is really pretty. Ooh, the Emperor. That is an evil ram. Wow. Oh, the Hierophant. The Hierophant is like an Ent. It's like a tree person. That is very cool. The Lover's card. Ooh, is that a... Oh my, that is a saucy Lover's card. I had to do a double take on that. Hopefully this video will not be taken down. Just to let you know. So Stephanie said, since I know it's your fave, thoughts on this High Priestess? I'm going to have to go backwards. And let me see. That High Priestess is very... wow, flipped right to it. I like it. She's a little bit more demure than I would prefer. She seems almost shy in a way, which I have not found the High Priestess to be in my interactions with her as an archetype, as an energy. So it's just like, she's pretty. She's pretty, but she's not given that bitch please kind of look that I'm used to seeing in the High Priestess, or at least the High Priestess cards that I have come to know and love. So thank you for asking, Stephanie. Katie says, Boss Ram, love the Ents. Yeah, that Ram looks, whoo, okay. Oh, the Chariot is an eagle. Very cool. Strength instead of strength instead of it being a lion, it's a snake. Wow. The hermit card. I am jamming with this hermit card. This hermit card feels a little bit more high priestessy than I've seen other hermit cards. You know what I mean? Which I like. I like sometimes when you do have to do a double take on a tarot card and be like, oh, that's the magician card. Oh, wait, no, that's the emperor card. So sometimes you get a kind of a double reading where you assume that the emperor is the magician or the magician is the emperor. In this case, it's the hermit card that's looking a little high priestessy. So you kind of get the flavors of two cards in one, which can be confusing if you're learning tarot, though. I will say that. The Wheel of Fortune is very fairy tale like. The Justice card, Lady Justice. And interestingly enough, the Justice card feels very Hierophanty with like the two people in front of her. Very interesting. I kind of wish I had a guidebook. Hanged Man. The use of color in this deck is quite beautiful so far. The Death card. Temperance. The Devil. Wow, that devil is quite formidable there. Yeah. Yeah, Katie says the Death card almost has a Disney feel to it. Uh-huh. Or like old school Grimm's fairy tales. The Tower. The Star. The Star is really, really gorgeous. Very almost like mermaid-like, I would say. The Moon. Shineki. The Sun. Sun is interesting actually because normally it's a baby riding on a white horse with the sun behind in the backdrop and then sunflowers on it. So this is kind of interesting to have like the dark horse. And it very much looks like Lady Godiva in a way. Judgment. I like this Judgment card, actually. This Judgment card looks almost as if it's just like that question of like, you know, the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder. Like, just gives me that sense of it. Yeah, so Katie's like, it also looks like the moon the next day. Stephanie says the sun doesn't feel quite joyful enough. Yeah, it is kind of it's kind of, again, it's the dark wood tarot. So this is definitely not a a bright and sunshiny deck. Like this is definitely, if you're looking for a deck that you want to do some shadow work with, this might be your deck. And then finally, we have the World card. And welcome to Michelle. Welcome to the broadcast. And there's the World card. And by the way, we just finally finished in Card Slingers. We did the recording for the World card today. Don't know when we're going to be putting that out, but that completes our dive into the major arcana cards, all of them. And we're probably going to be starting with the minor arcana next. I think we are going to get through all 78 cards. So just to let you know, we recorded the World card today. Don't know when it's coming out though. I'm sure if I looked it up in our records, I would see when it's slated to be put out there. The next episode that you guys are going to be seeing will be coming out probably, what is it? Next Friday, I believe. Friday, February 9th. And that most likely is the oh gosh, I think it was the one that we did about twin flames, and our thoughts on twin flames. And Katie says, "Congrats to Card Slingers Coast to Coast for finishing the major arcana. Thank you, it's appreciated." Let's see, and this person is trying to solicit in here, which is interesting. Pay no mind. Anyway, so we're through with the major arcana and we're through with this major arcana. So what I want to do is I'm not going to go through all 78 cards. But I will look through the cards for your requests. So I understand when I'm looking for a new tarot deck, I am on the lookout for certain cards and how those cards are depicted to see if it's going to be a deck that I would resonate with or that I would like. As Stephanie was asking me before, what's your thoughts on the High Priestess card? That is one of the cards that I will look for and see like, how's that looking, to see if I want to purchase that particular tarot deck. So Stephanie is asking me, what does the Queen of Wands look like? And while I still have it in order, I'm going to go ahead and show you. So Queen of Wands is, yeah. That's kind of funny. That's funny. Katie's just like, Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is a favorite, please, aka Leo. And Stephanie beat me to the punch. But that's fine because it's right there. Yeah, she's a pretty Queen of Wands. She is. So let's look at the queens. Why not? Because I usually like to look for the High Priestess. I also would like to look at the Queen of Swords because I love the Queen of Swords. I call her the bitch of the tarot deck, but I also resonate with her. So it's like it's okay for me to call her a bitch because like I kind of feel like I'm the bitch of the tarot as well. Oh, Queen of Swords. Look at that Queen of Swords. She's definitely got the bitch please face. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Stephanie's a fellow Aries. I am also an Aries. She's definitely a fire sign. Oh, and you're probably an April Aries. If you're an April Aries, I feel you because I'm an April Aries too. She gives me Circe vibes, the Queen of Swords. Yes, very much so. Let's see what the other queens look like. Yep. See, I know just enough astrology to be dangerous. I cannot say that I'm an astrologer. I cannot say that I can read your natal chart, or, do any horoscope kind of stuff. I know just enough to be dangerous. And I also know one of my own. So we've got Queen of Wands. We've got the Queen of Swords. Let's look at the other queens. We might as well. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Love that. And then Queen of Swords we already did. Let's see the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Booberific. Okay. So I'm seeing here there's wands. There's wands, there's swords, there's cups, there's pentacles. So there is no renaming going on in this deck, at least not as far as I can see. I'm going to just double check that for you guys though. Yep, page of wands, knight of wands, queen of wands, king of wands. So no renaming going on to speak of. So if I remember when I was reading the description before, it is based on Rider-Waite-Smith. So you don't have to really worry about, oh, well, what's the chariot in this, because the chariot's renamed, or the fool is renamed, or death is renamed, or the Queen of Wands, or, the wand suit is renamed to the, flame suit, or something else. So that might make the transition from the Witch Sister Tarot into the Darkwood Tarot that we're using for this month a little bit easier for us, which I appreciate. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to say, something from the guidebook or how they see it, because I don't have a guidebook to work with. So didn't know that. But again, that could be a good thing. That could be for the good, because then it will lead me to just saying my first impressions. And hold, please, because I've got to ban some people from the stream because they are soliciting for readings, and please know that that's not me. I would never do that. This live stream that I do is in part of a way to educate and to do readings, do free readings, but also, point you towards, hey, here's my website. If you want to do something, if you want to do a private session with me, by all means, you can book that. But that's just I would never go into somebody else's live stream and solicit. I just wouldn't. That's just not my jam. That's not who I am. So it just still kind of, I wouldn't say rattles me, but it annoys me that people have the cojones to do that, and not good cojones. So please ignore any solicitation that you might be getting. It is not me, and report, block, whatever, ban. I've just been going through and banning them from the stream. So when I see it happening. So, and sometimes we have Sophia wearing the moderator hat here. But sometimes I have to do it myself, and that is totally fine. So. All right. So we looked at the queens. So we looked at the high priestess. Two of Wands is very witchy. Ooh, that's very cool. That is very cool. So are there any other cards that you wanted to take a look at before we move into the mid-episode reading? And I'm going to see if I can set up a keyword in such a way. Hold, please. For the mid-episode reading. Let's see. Ooh, cute, cool. Days in quarantine. Their mother snake. So I'm gonna put up the common snake first. And let's see if I can change the settings while we go. Yes, I can change it. I can change it. So instead of it being, any kind of comment, I can change it now to being a keyword. And those comments will be then filtered into the lottery jar. So I will tell you your keyword in a second. Okay. I think that'll work. Let's see. I will tell you when. All right. So Katie wants to see the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to shuffle this up. So basically, once we break for the mid-episode reading, it'll be a little bit harder for me to find specific cards. So like speak now or forever hold your peace, unless of course it comes up for you in the reading if you're lucky enough to win the mid-episode reading. So 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is going to come up first because that's closest. So here's the 10 of Wands. Here's the 10 of Wands. And then 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is another ent, another tree. So I'm going to put that off to the side. And I'm going to start shuffling in a second. So interesting depictions. I agree. So I'm going to start to shuffle this up. I'm going to shuffle up the minor arcana first. And I'm just going to shuffle overhand out of habit, even though another good part of having a mini tarot deck is that you could probably do this, split it and bridge it. But it is a little tight, so I'll try doing that. So I've done that, and now I'm going to mix up the major arcana and now I am going to put the major arcana into the minor arcana. I will say that the card stock is not great. I mean, it is a mini deck. So I'm not expecting too much, but it is pretty thin. And I mean, like, what can I really expect from that, considering it is a mini deck? Like, if you got thick cards in a mini deck, I don't think it would shuffle very well. So, again, keep all of this in mind before purchasing. I want you to be mindful. I want you to be smart and intelligent consumers of whatever it is that you're consuming or buying. Know that this deck does not come with a guidebook. That's not to say that it's a counterfeit deck. It is not. If you're wondering if your deck that you've purchased is a counterfeit deck, you could check out one of my previous episodes, which I believe is about identifying counterfeit decks and what to look out for. So you can search my Tube of You or my Book of Face videos with the word counterfeit deck, and it should take you right to it. But sometimes an indication of a counterfeit deck is that it doesn't come with a guidebook, or it comes with a QR code in which you can download a PDF of the guidebook. So just because the guidebook is missing from this deck does not make it a counterfeit deck. If there was a QR code on this, then that would increase the likelihood. But there's a barcode on this. There is a barcode. It's Llewellyn.com, printed in Poland. It is a legitimate deck. It's just the mini version. So the mini versions may not come with a guidebook. That doesn't make it a counterfeit deck. Just because there's a QR code on it does not automatically make it a counterfeit deck either. I know of one deck, the Cosmic Butchers tarot deck of the strange and unknown, something like that. They have a QR code for their guidebook, but it is a legitimate deck. It's more of an indie deck. So indie decks may have a QR code. So just shop mindfully. I hope that explains some things. And if it doesn't explain some things, check out that episode on counterfeit decks and spotting counterfeit decks. And by the way, an update to that particular episode, the reason why I did that episode was because I saw a store that was selling counterfeit decks. And that store has since gone out of business, and they were doing way more shady things than just selling counterfeit decks. So yeah. All right, so let us open up the floor to the mid-episode reading. For those of you who have been here, you know the drill. And I'm going to put the keyword in here, in the crawler. And the keyword, so to be considered for a live reading, comment Darkwood in the chat. Let me go ahead and update that. And let's see if that works. So, and let me put up, before you do anything, don't do it yet. Let me put up the lottery jar. That way we can filter these comments and people can still continue to comment, even if they don't want to be considered for a reading. And I'm going to put the countdown. And I'm going to give us 3 minutes and 33 seconds. So you must comment before then. And I'm just going to double check the settings. All right. So Jenny, are you testing it to make sure that it's working? That the filter is actually working? Darkwood. Darkwood, all one word. That is the magic keyword in which to submit for the mid-episode reading. Otherwise, it won't work, as we just saw. And if Stephanie has no competition, then the winner of the mid-episode reading is a foregone conclusion. But basically, I will pull 3 cards for your question. If you are to be the winner, I will pull 3 cards for your question, and we will test out the Darkwood Tarot deck. Awesome. So Jenny's in it to win it. And for the rest of you, you've got about a minute, about 2 minutes before the contest closes, and then I will go ahead and pick a winner from the lottery jar. And Katie's just like, I'm watching. I'm just an observer, not a participant in this week's mid-episode reading. And I'm just going to sit here and shuffle up the deck. I know, right? Ooh, fancy filter works. Yes, it does. I'm glad that something does. Because I'm telling you, I was very, very annoyed when I first started up the live stream tonight, because I did everything right. And I think it was just a leftover from me trying out the Gram of Insta and having to put in the streaming key and other things. I just think my third-party live streaming app was just not a happy camper. So yes, Katie says, I have appreciated many readings before. Yes. And I do appreciate that you take the rules of the mid-episode reading seriously, and you never take advantage in a bad way these mid-episode readings, which I really appreciate. Like when you guys, pass off your turn when you feel that you don't need it and somebody else does. You don't put your hat into the ring if you've already received a mid-episode reading in a previous episode or last week's episode. Like, I really appreciate that, because there's not many. We got a good community. We got a good community going on here. All right. So it's 50-50 chance whether or not Jenny wins it tonight or Stephanie wins it tonight. So let's go ahead and pull, get a winner. And it is Stephanie. Yeah, exactly. Katie says, software not being Mercury and Gatorade, then just pretending. Yeah, there shouldn't have been any planets in retrograde. There's no planets currently in retrograde, and won't be for about a month and a half. So now is a really, really great time to forge ahead with some of the things that you've been wanting to do, because there's no planetary fuckery going on, or at least not in the way that it can be when a planet is retrograde. So Stephanie says, oh my. And you're getting congratulated for winning. So Stephanie, what you want to do is put your question into the chat, and I will pull 3 cards from the Darkwood Tarot and give you a reading live here on the air. Please keep in mind that this is a public forum. It's a live stream. So if you don't want to ask about a sensitive topic, I completely understand. It can be very vulnerable to be read in a public space. And so just phrase your question accordingly. And if you're not sure what to ask about, or you don't have a question that's coming to mind, just simply, what do I most need to know right now, is an excellent question to ask. Oh, awesome to clarify. I hope it's okay if I ask about someone else. You can ask about somebody else, but there has to be some kind of way for you to center yourself within that reading, because that person is not here to be read for, and therefore they cannot give their consent. So if you want to structure it in such a way, it's just like, what do I need to know about this person to better foster a good relationship with this person? That kind of thing. But it has to be centered on yourself because you're here asking the question. I hope that makes sense. I mean, now would be an excellent time for me to mention about my disclaimer for tarot readings that I usually have in the my signature line on my emails. Let me see if I can pull that up. Basically, like, a lot of it is, especially if you're asking for an email reading, you know, I will do my level best to read the cards to the best of my ability, but it is not within my purview as a tarot card reader to provide guarantees, that kind of thing. So let me pull that up actually, if it will load. Let's see. Because there's some things going a little bit slow right now. Like I mentioned before, I'm trying not to pull open too many tabs at the same time. But I did see the question come through, and I think that's a question that I can answer because, you know, consent is sexy, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and close that. So yes, so this site is for entertainment purposes only. By participating in and reading my tarot service website, blog, email series, live stream, etc., you acknowledge that I am not a lawyer, licensed psychologist, a financial advisor, business consultant, or healthcare professional. And my services do not replace the care of attorneys, business consultants, financial advisors, psychologists, or other healthcare professionals. Tarot is in no way to be construed or substituted as psychological counseling or any other type of therapy or medical advice. I will at all times, exercise my best professional efforts, skills, and care. However, I cannot guarantee the outcome of tarot efforts and or recommendations on my website, blog, and my comments about the outcome are expressions of opinion only. I cannot make any guarantees other than to deliver the tarot services purchased as described. All right. So, given that, let us shuffle. How can I best support A with her relationship troubles? That's a good rephrasing. So note that a good tarot professional will ask you to rephrase, or they will help you to rephrase. Now, in this case, I asked you to rephrase or center yourself, and this rephrasing is a good rephrasing. So I don't need to help you with rephrasing. You've already come up with a pretty good one. So let's see what the Darkwood Tarot has to say. Pulling 3 cards. I did shuffle in some reversals, and some reversals are coming up. Now, reversals are not a bad sign. Sometimes they just mean a miscommunication or blockage in the energy. And interestingly enough, you're getting, as the very first card, the High Priestess. You're getting that card that you were asking about. And she's demure, but also, again, keep in mind, I don't have a guidebook with this deck. I am just going from what I know about the tarot from the last 30 years of reading tarot. So the high priestess has, like, literally the scroll says tarot. Not sure if you can see that. And she has the full moon above her. So how can you best support with her relationship troubles is to do what you've been doing and to be using your intuition. And also, I mean, heck, I think part of the reason why you won the mid-episode reading is because you're basically asking for confirmation of your own intuition and what you think about the relationship, and wondering, is it just me? Is it just me? Am I just being really judgmental about this person? Or is there something there? And I do think there is something there. I do think there is something there to be concerned about. So just continue to be a good friend to this person and continue to be a support for this person. But this is confirming there's something up there, and that your intuition is strong, and this is confirming your intuition. Now you're also getting the King of Pentacles reversed. This King of Pentacles is, wow, it's reversed, but like that's a dark King of Pentacles. And with the reversal of the King of Pentacles, it's just like, I don't think that the person in this situation is as stable as they purported themselves to be. That can be stability in any form, because Pentacles is associated with the earth element. And a lot of the time when I see a reverse Pentacle card, it makes me feel like the energy is very ungrounded and not supportive, not substantial, not practical. And especially with the King of Pentacles, it could be that earth element is ungrounded. It also can mean that this person is not very good with money, or that they have been talking a really good game about being able to support financially, and they're not. There's nothing there. And yes, it can possibly be her partner. I would say so, yes. Especially if that's what you were asking about. Like I'm trying not to be a nosy Nelly about this. And I really try not to give third-party readings. I'm trying to give the best information possible for the person that is asking the question or sitting in the querent seat. However, sometimes tarot will get nosy or give the information that maybe above and beyond what you were looking for, but it can be indicative of the person that she is in the relationship with, especially if who I'm describing is that person. Okay. Now, finally, you are getting the Justice card. And having these two cards, like I tried to shuffle as best as I can, but having 2 out of the 3 cards being major arcana cards is like, it just feels like the situation is coming to a head. And having the Justice card come up as the final outcome card for this is, something is not on the up and up. And if it's not on the up and up, I have noticed that the Justice card, it will make everything even, like it's like that whole concept of people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, where it's just like everything like gets leveled out here. So I don't know if this person is necessarily like legitimate, like it feels very fraudy in nature. Like they did not purport themselves to be the person that they are. I'm going to pull one more card to clarify. Lover's card. And notice how the Lover's card, the man in the Lover's card, looks very similar to the King of Pentacles reversed. Like this is definitely a like very much a passionate connection, but having these cards come up, it's just like it feels a little much. Stephanie says addicts rarely are legitimate. Yeah, I didn't want to say that. I don't want to presume. I never want to presume, but this as confirmation is, you know, you have to be the voice of common sense while also not being judgmental about it. And unfortunately, I am seeing this kind of like closing ranks happening where there is a separation going on from her support system. And the best thing that you can do, and the best way to be a friend to this person, I believe, is to, you know, say the truth, because it's very difficult. You're at a hard part in this where they're very much in denial. So some of it is doing the right thing in the moment is not going to feel like the right thing for them, but it's definitely going to be the right thing. So it's going to be hard and it's going to be messy at first, but in the long run, you would rather do the hard thing than have the alternative. And I feel like you've gone through this before. So like you are, unfortunately, the best person that can be in the situation because you know what you're doing and you know what you're dealing with. But that doesn't make it easy. And as I suspected, the Darkwood is not pulling any punches. So be forewarned if you are to purchase the Darkwood Tarot. Does not play around. So I hope that makes sense to you, Stephanie. I hope this reading helped you. Thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable and allowing me to read for you. Thank you for throwing your hat into the ring and being the winner of the mid-episode reading. Yeah, it's not. And I mean, like, you love your friend, but you don't really like them right now. Yes. Especially with the High Priestess coming up. I can't, like, this is why I say at the start and the end of every episode, you have intuition. You have intuition. I firmly believe that everybody has intuition. So Stephanie says, thank you. And yes, it does confirm my own intuitions. So Katie is asking, does the full-size Darkwood come with a little white book? It either comes with a little white book or it comes with a guidebook. So that's the reason why I'm saying, if you want to work with the Darkwood tarot deck, I would recommend getting the full size so that you have the ability to look at the guidebook. Let me look, actually. Just let me see. So yeah, related products is the full size boxed kit, and the page count is 304 pages. So I think it's a full guidebook. Let's see.
Hey, my car was warm. Sure. I'm sure my car was warm now too.
Yeah, it looks like it does. Yeah. Does it? I just wondered how dark the guidebook descriptions are. Not sure. Not sure. I mean, so Stephanie says it would be nice if they gave at least a QR link to that for the mini deck. I mean, like, so I didn't know this when I got sent this. And again, like, this is the reason why I'm saying I got a reviewer copy. Like, I got a box of a bunch of different decks. So like, I'm not complaining. I am not complaining about that at all. I got this for free. I didn't have to buy it. So this is the reason why I'm saying if you were to buy it, I would, and you want the guidebook, I would suggest getting the full size, because you're not going to get the any kind of companion book with the mini version, and they do say that on the website. So at least they say that. Like it says right here, box deck mini. And this is the mini edition of the Darkwood. Please note that this deck does not come with an instruction booklet. So at least they say it, you know? Can't complain too much about that. But we'll see. We'll see how I like it. We'll see how it goes over the next month. This is going to be the deck that I'm using for Card of the Day polls. So be warned, starting tomorrow, you will start to see the images from the Darkwood Tarot. All right. On that note, so I don't want to go through all of the different cards. We'll see the different cards as they come up for us over the next month. All right, let's do the weekend forecast. Again, a reminder that we do these live streams every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sometimes 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, sometimes 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when you find out that it's not working properly. But let's do the weekend forecast. And let me see what I have here to use for the weekend forecast. I don't think I brought any Oracle decks with me. Could be wrong about that. So let's do a Lenny. Let's do a Lenormand card, which is not typically done with a one card. So I will pull 3 cards. If I can open this without breaking my nails, that would be nice. So this is the Siren Song Lenormand from Carrie Paris. And Lenormand is a different system to tarot. It's 36 cards instead of 78 cards. I know. It's a bit. This is a bit exciting for a weekend forecast. I know, but I don't have anything else. I have my Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith. I have my Reflective Tarot, and I think that's it. I mean, I'll keep looking if you want. We could have done Bibliomancy instead, but I don't feel like it. I feel like a Lenormand card. So Lenormand is a different system. It's 36 cards instead of 78 cards. And it's just a completely different system of cartomancy. And we have keywords here too. So, and Lenormand is usually read like a sentence. So, I mean, you can get information from one card, but it's more accurate when it's read in a sentence, and the different cards in the line would be like, you know, the noun, the verb, the adjective. So, and if you're wondering, if there's anywhere that you can learn Lenormand from, or a book that I would recommend The Essential Lenormand by Rana George. I think that's one of the best books on Lenormand that I've seen. And I really understand Lenormand a lot better because of that book. So let's pull 3 cards. And the question is, and it always comes back to the question in Lenormand, Lenormand is not as forgiving as tarot is. Tarot can be a little bit more amorphous. Jenny, thank you. So Jenny says, according to Benabel's review of the Darkwood Tarot, the guidebook says reversals are meant to be shadow meanings, aspects you've disowned or hidden away. Interesting take on reversals. Yes, I agree. Thank you. So if you want a more thorough review, again, like this isn't necessarily a review of the Darkwood Tarot. You'll have to check in with me at the end of the month to see what my take on it is after I've worked with it for a month. But Benabel Wen did a review on the Darkwood Tarot, the larger version, the full-size version. And so you may want to check that out. All right. Let's see what the Lenormand has to say. So again, Lenormand is a little bit less forgiving, and it always goes back to the question, rather than when tarot, you can, I guess, give a general reading for Lenormand, but I don't know. It always goes back to the question. So the question is, what do we need to know for this weekend? Or what is this weekend shaping up to look like for us? So, and Lenormand can be very literal sometimes. All right. So, book, dog, and sun. So I'm going to give you the keywords for each of these, and I'm going to try and read it in a sentence. Again, I've been working with Lenormand for a few years. I don't know it quite as well as I know tarot. Tarot is always going to be my main squeeze, but I enjoy working in Lenormand cards just to see what I can see. So the book card is undisclosed knowledge, a study. Alternative meanings can be books, research, academia, libraries, cards and decks, code, classified information, and spine. So it could be like a part of the body too. So dog is trustworthiness, companionship, loyalty, reliability, and devotion. Alternative meanings can include a faithful friend, usually male, or a pet. And then finally, sun. Sun is yes, success, gain, happiness, energy, and warmth. Alternative keywords can be sun, light, morning, day, electricity, tropics, desert, and orb. So you have these individual cards, but then read in a sentence, book, dog, sun. It could be you possibly actually reading a favorite book or a comfort book, or like a book that's like your best friend. It could be that you're doing that in the morning. It could be that it could be almost like a weather report for how we know the weekend is going to go. It could be that you're spending time with your dog, or a very faithful friend. It could be that you're getting your vitamin D from the sunshine. So yeah, I agree with you, Jenny. It just sounds like a perfect weekend. Yeah, and it's actually interesting that the book card's coming up, because I'm looking for what I'm going to read next. I just finished Lessons in Chemistry because it was an audio book available on Spotify. So I just finished that. And then I was wondering, I wonder if there are other audiobooks available on Spotify that I could start with. Because I have a really lofty goal of reading 50 books, like 50 books this year. And I always set my goal to be that high and I never reach it. But I think this year is my year for it. So maybe visit a library this weekend. Maybe curl up with a good book in the sunshine, like a cat. find that shaft of sunshine and just sit all cozy and get some reading done. Or it could be that you might be busy doing divination this weekend too, because book can indicate cards. So maybe this is a sign for me that I'm going to be getting more readings this weekend. So you never know. But you can see the difference kind of between a tarot reading and a Lenormand reading all in one episode here, as compared to the mid-episode reading and then the weekend forecast with the Lenormand. So Katie says, I have a heat wave here in Eastern Australia, so I'll probably stay inside and finish reading a friend's book. Oh, a friend's book. That's very cool. And again, see, quite literal sometimes. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and we will be using the Darkwood Tarot deck mini for card of the day pulls for the month of February. So I hope you enjoy it. Once again, we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure what we're going to be presenting next week, but I have some ideas. Maybe the Celtic Cross. Who knows? I mean, you guys have given me so many different topics over the years on what you want to see. So it could very well be the Celtic Cross, or it could be another topic of my choosing from the laundry list that you've given me over the years. So, and Stephanie is saying, thank you again. You're very welcome, Stephanie. Jenny is saying, thanks, Hilary. Bye, friends. I love this community. It's so great. So once again, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great weekend reading in the sunshine. And keeping in mind the astrology as well. You may want to lay low on Sunday afternoon, because that's when things are supposed to be a little bit more hinky. And if you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so. tarotbyhilary.com. All different reading options available, including Skype, email, Zoom, in-person, private parties, etc. So Katie says, have a good weekend, everybody, and thank you. You're very welcome. Once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, don't argue with me. You have intuition. Have a fabulous weekend and a fabulous week, and I will see you again on Friday. Bye.